Peter, thank you for taking time out of your school day to come to the bank with me.
It's my pleasure, Aunt May. I'll make some time to study later.
I hope you don't spend too much time cutting classes.
Of course not. I'm a model student. Sorry, I don't feel well. Will you excuse me?
Of course, honey. I'll be right here.
Hey guys, Nick Magna here to review Spider-Man 2, but it's not actually the game you're thinking about, it's some other piece of junk version for the PC that's nothing like the actual game. And I just want to make it clear that I'm not bashing the PC when I say that. I'm just bashing this game. And you know what's really sad? When the first Spider-Man movie game was released, there was a PC version that was great. It was exactly like the console versions. I got the GameCube version now, I can't really use the PC version anymore, but at the time, that was what I was playing. I didn't have any consoles, so I used the PC version, and it was fun because it's the same game. It was as good as the console version. And this... jeez. At times, it looks kind of like some really early beta of what Spider-Man would eventually wind up being. But you compare it to Spider-Man 2, and jeez, what happened? Okay, I should make it clear that I'm not using a script for this review. I'm just saying everything as fresh as can be because this is going to be so short I can just let all my thoughts out right now. Anyway, I wasn't going to review this, but I was looking for footage to download for the Spider-Man 2 review, the real Spider-Man 2 game, and I just happened to trip over this. And thanks to Rasun69 for uploading it. So there's a shout out for them, because they record and upload this footage to YouTube, and it went for them, chances are I would never have found out about it. I mean, it's been there all these years, and I've only known about it for a couple of days. And I don't even need to play it to just see how overwhelmingly underwhelming it is. I know what I just said doesn't really make sense, but really, this is just so bland and lifeless. There is so little to this game. It's like, it's all skin and bones. There's no meat to it. The fighting mechanics are just blah. And the swinging mechanics are worse. When you're swinging, the swinging was the other thing that people loved most about the Spider-Man 2 game. And in this version, you just lock onto certain points that are highlighted by like some mysterious floating web icon in the sky, and you just zip to that. And you can also zip to the side of a building, but you can't really do anything when you're swinging. There's no freedom for like moving around. You just lock onto something, then you lock onto the next icon, and you just go along that path. I mean, you look at this and it seems surprisingly vast at first. It looks kind of cool when you just look at it like this, but then you get indoors and it's just some of the most bland, empty environments I've ever seen. And the scale of the actual overworld is nothing compared to the actual Spider-Man 2. There's just so little going on here. It's like, I'm not even sure I can really call it a bad game. It's not the sort of game that outright offends me just by being there, just by existing. But it's so bare bones. It's that sort of game that you rarely find, where the character models, like when they turn around or go up a flight of stairs, they don't even really move. They just sort of float along or slide around.
I'm sorry, there's no one allowed on this train. It's out of service.
So are you.
Yeah, real riveting stuff. I mean, this game, it's just junk. This game is junk. I feel so bad for all the people who wanted to play Spider-Man 2 and they heard how great it was, and then they just happened to find this version. And you know, I mean, there isn't really much injustice to be had here. I know that's my old gimmick, finding injustice. I guess the only injustice here is that this game exists. That there was never a PC port of the actual game. That the people on the PC who didn't have GameCubes or PlayStation 2s or whatever at the time, that they had to play this piece of crap. That is just, you know, come to think of it, I am kind of offended by that. And even to this day, there are people who kind of want to get into Spider-Man 2 when they hear people say how great that game is, and then they happen to find this. I mean, really, there are people who have commented on Rasun69's videos saying, like, wait, is this the actual game? And, jeez. there's just so little to this game. It's incredibly short. There's only a few levels and a few little bosses. I mean, the Mysterio boss fight is a little more involving than the one in the actual Spider-Man 2, but I still prefer the actual Spider-Man 2 Mysterio boss fight because it was played up for comedic laughs and... jeez. What is there to say about this game? It's just so bland. There's just so little passion oozing out of it. I mean, I haven't played it, so in some way I feel like I don't have the right to review it, but still, just from looking at it. If I look at this and then I look at some footage of Spider-Man 2, I'm like, yeah, okay, that game is much better than this one. I mean, really, this is just crap. Really, this isn't a step up from the first Spider-Man game movie. This feels like an early beta of it. It's really badly done in pretty much every possible way. The dialogue's bad, the music is hardly even there. That's why I'm using, music from the actual game that is so much better than this. I mean, at times, this feels like some weird minigame you'd find on a DVD for Spider-Man 2. I mean, they really did have things kind of like this on some DVDs back then. And granted, this is kind of big for some like that, but this is... why did they make this? Anyway, guys, I'm done. I mean, again, I'm not sure I can really call this a bad game, but there's just... It is one of the least impressive games that I have ever seen, and it is definitely not worth playing. Unless you want to do it for laughs, or you want to enjoy the irony of it being such a weird, obscure thing, or you just want to try something new from a bygone age for the heck of it, because it's all cryptic and stuff. Don't play this game. Okay, the review for the real Spider-Man 2 is coming up, and that game is just nothing like this. It is so much better. Good things are ahead, guys, but, I thought I may as well release this just to give you something to watch while waiting for that review. I got all the footage I need for the real Spider-Man 2, and now I just need footage from Ultimate Spider-Man, and that's all, really. Well, see ya. Hope you enjoyed this little video for what it was, but yeah, that's Spider-Man 2... Okay, it's the poor man's Spider-Man 2. That's what we're gonna call this. Oh, good God.